create or allow to happen when they're in harmony. Another story, you look at one of the biblical story talks about that, God observed human beings coming together of all sorts of cultures, and they had the determination to build the Tower of Babel. And that's recorded in the Bible where it says that God actually said they shall surely do it if they were left to their own devices. And the story of the Bible talks about how God came and confused their languages, so they discontinued the project. But they had a determination, and God acknowledged that it was going to happen. They were going to achieve their goal if they persisted in the harmony that they had. They were definitely going to do it. And so it's incredible just to think that. You talk about the awakening of the stars, and that's not even to talk about, that we start working together under that kind of mind. I mean, nothing will be impossible for us. I think another thing that I need to mention, you look at some of the contradiction that we experience. You look at, again, an example that Jesus gave, and he says, if somebody speaks to this mountain and they have no doubt in their heart that it will move when they say that it should move, the mountain will surely get up and it will relocate to someplace else, so it will move. And he illustrated that shortly after when he cursed the fig tree, and the fig tree died because it didn't have any fruit in it. But today you'll have a lot of these motivations that go around the internet, like nothing is impossible for you. You can do it, but we're not talking about speaking to mountains. No, because that's impossible. But you can do anything. Go out there and you can achieve. You can conquer the world. No, but you can't go into business because that's this economies. And so you've got this contradiction of you waking up in the morning and your spirit is energized and you genuinely believe that you can do it, until you come up against these other truths like, no, we didn't mean literal mountains. No, we're not talking about like actual millionaires. I mean, you get some money, and so we're facing this. But the thing that the human spirit can identify with is the fact that anything that tells us, that indicates to us that we're connected to the universe and nothing is impossible. People don't generally struggle with that kind of information. They're motivated and they're excited by it because it's the truth. But along the way, we have all of these other contradictions that come in. I think even, I'm speaking now and I'm thinking about, I'm seeing the festival in the future and where it could go and the kind of doors that it could open for people. And I think, like I keep coming to the point that we need to have a lot more of these conversations, because again, a lot of people don't know why they believe what they believe, because what they believe is never challenged. You'll go to a local church. Your pastor, from the time that you were 6 years old, has told you this one thing. You don't question it. Why do you believe what you believe? Why do you believe that one day is special, or why do you believe one particular season in a Christian calendar is important? It's one thing to be taught it, and you can grow up having believed that. I think you're a better advocate for your religion, or you're a better advocate for your belief if you can answer why you believe what you believe. And I don't believe that a lot of people can answer. They'll go back to, well, my pastor said it was true, or I grew up like this, or and here's another thing is that, throughout the Bible, any religious book, it calls for you to demonstrate your belief through action. Do it. If you believe it, all of the religious books will have their set of actions for you to follow through. If you genuinely believe it, you'll go out and do it. Go and tell people about Jesus. Go and tell people about Allah. Go and tell people, because that's your conviction. But a lot of people won't. Their religion isn't made true to them because there's no execution of the belief. But a belief means more to an individual having gone through it. Here's the difference. You look at anybody who's been written about in any of the ancient books, whether it's the Bible or whatever, they will have said in the Bible, oh, God is faithful. Because you know what happened in the earlier chapters? They went through a series of circumstances where at the end of that, they were able to look back and say, goodness, that was God who did it. So God is faithful. I know God to be faithful. But you have a lot of people, Christians today, who with no experience at all will say God is faithful. It doesn't make it less true, but it means you can't have the conviction without having been through this set of circumstances. Again, a lot of this is me just talking about the fact that, yes, I keep trying to bring it back to the festival, which is what we're talking about. But these things are going to call, you'll talk about an awakening now, and this awakening, that's the direction that it's supposed to take. It's supposed to bring us to this place that we're asking those kind of questions. Why? If I'm supposed to be shining, why am I not shining? What are the contradicting thoughts or beliefs or traditions around me that are causing me not to shine? Isn't it interesting that a lot of the celebrities that you come to admire are called stars?
Yeah.
They're stars. We look at them and we say that they are stars. We don't look at ourselves and say we are stars. They are stars, which I feel is such a lesser glory than the glory of the stars themselves. And this goes back to my point that I keep feeling like modernism is trying to get us to look on ourselves and less up. Let's look down here. That's the star. Don't worry about the glory of the stars above. Let's create our own sort of stars. But each one of us are. Each one of us should be expressing that. Each one of us should be shining. I love what you said about the fact that a star is